Welcome back to The Deep Dive, where we take a stack of sources and, well, turn them into actionable, insightful knowledge for you. Today, we're embarking on a pretty serious deep dive into a platform called Lumina.
Right.
It's a multi-tenant SaaS platform, and it tackles this huge, almost universal business problem.
It really is everywhere.
Which is, how do you transform all that static knowledge, the thousands of documents locked away in PDFs, manuals, internal wikis.
All that digital dust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And turn it into an intelligent, fully conversational AI assistant that you can embed basically anywhere.
Exactly. And we've got a really comprehensive view of this system from its, its cloud architecture, its security model, all the way to the real-world applications. Our mission here is to get past the marketing claims and really understand the fundamental shift. We're looking for those aha moments in how this tech changes how we access knowledge.
And what immediately grabs you is the core technological choice they made. Lumina isn't just running, simple keyword searches over your content. It's using Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash LLM combined with R.
Yes, RG.
Retrieval-Augmented Generation.
Yeah.
And I think we really need to unpack R properly because it's the key. It's the feature that makes this whole thing reliable.
RG is the critical constraint. It ensures the AI's intelligence, the LLM's language skills, is strictly tethered to the actual source documents you uploaded.
Tethered, I like that word.
Yeah. The AI can understand these complex questions, but it's forced to ground its answers in your specific content. This just radically reduces the chance of hallucinations.
So the answers are not just intelligent, they're actually accurate based on what you fed it.
Precisely. It creates this trusted, hyper-specific knowledge base.
That's the benefit. Okay, so let's talk about the structure that supports that. We look under the hood, we see a heavy reliance on Google Cloud infrastructure.
Yep.
This can throw off non-technical users. Can you explain the architecture in terms of what it does for the user, not just listing the tech?
Absolutely. Think of the architecture as just highly specialized for speed and massive scaling. On the front end, you've got modern stuff like React and TypeScript.
Which means it's fast and flexible for the widget.
Exactly. And on the back end, everything is powered by Google Cloud Functions running on Node.js.
And why Cloud Functions? Why not, a standard dedicated server?
Well, Cloud Functions or serverless, it's ideal for this kind of platform. Lumen has to handle millions of quick individual requests from thousands of different widgets all at once.
Okay.
Cloud Functions lets the system scale up from 0 to massive capacity and then right back down instantly.
Yeah.
You only pay for the exact moment the AI is processing a request.
So it's efficient. It keeps costs down, but performance high.
Right. High performance, efficient cost management.
And what about the data itself? I mean, they're dealing with tons of different content for all these users.
For that, they use Firestore, which is a NoSQL database that allows for really rapid, flexible lookups, which you need for all that unstructured document metadata.
And the files themselves, the PDFs.
Those are stored separately in Google Cloud Storage, which is built for handling large files securely. It's an architecture designed not just to work, but to scale reliably for enterprise use.
Okay, so let's turn to the source material itself. Building the AI's brain. This is the quality in, quality out phase, right?
Absolutely.
We know Lumina supports things like text files, PDFs, but our sources really emphasize one format as being superior.
They do, and this is a critical takeaway for anyone listening. Markdown the MD files is highly, highly recommended.
Why, though? I mean, if I have a perfectly formatted PDF, isn't that good enough?
Not always. When content is structured using Markdown, with its clear headings, lists, block quotes, the AI can parse that content with dramatically better readability.
So it understands the hierarchy of the information better.
Exactly. It sees the structure. If you're using something like ChatGPT or Claude to generate your documents, ask it to output in Markdown. You will see better, more nuanced AI responses from your Lumina widget.
That is a valuable piece of advice. It's about moving the effort upstream, focusing on the quality of the source.
Yep.
Now, speaking of source quality, there's a huge warning in the documentation about PDFs. This is where a lot of people trip up at first.
Yes, the scanned PDF trap. It's a big one. If your PDF is just an image.
Meaning you scanned a piece of paper.
Right. And you can't select or copy the text.
It just sees a picture of words.
Exactly. Lumina can't read it. It is blind to it.
Yeah.
Before you upload that, you have to run it through an OCR tool optical character recognition.
Which turns the picture into actual text.
Correct. It's a non-negotiable step for any kind of legacy or archive documents.
And to keep things stable, they have some limits. Files are capped at 5 MB and PDFs at 100 pages.
Accessible limit.
Once that knowledge base is loaded, it goes instantly into what they call the playground.
Yeah, for immediate testing.
That instant feedback loop has to be a major selling point.
It's crucial. It lets you know the RAG pipeline is working with your content before you even think about deploying it.
So once we've refined that knowledge base, the next step is getting it out into the world. How does deployment work? And more importantly, how do you keep it secure?
Deployment is all handled through their Widget Builder. You can customize the look and feel, brand, color, widget size, whether it opens automatically. You can even upload a custom logo.
And the sources specifically mention keeping that logo opacity low, right? Like between 0.08 and 0.12.
They do. It shows attention to detail. They want it to be a helpful tool, not some jarring advertisement on your site.
It's about seamless integration.
Precisely. But you mentioned security, and that brings us to the widget token.
The token.
This token is the unique security key. It's the password. When the widget on your website tries to access the AI, it uses this token to prove it belongs to you.
Okay, I have to jump in with a critique here. The source material says these tokens are permanent. They never expire automatically.
That's right.
In modern web security, keys usually rotate constantly. Isn't a permanent key just inherently less secure? Why did they choose that?
That's a really thoughtful question. And it highlights this trade-off between absolute security and deployment utility. They chose permanence to support a deploy once, works forever model.
So for convenience.
For convenience, exactly. For a small business without a dedicated IT staff, the last thing they want is their support widget breaking every 30 days because a key expired.
Convenience over compulsion.
I see.
Ew.
But they must have mitigations. They have two key layers. First, the plain text token is never stored in their database. It is cryptographically secured using SHA-256 hashing.
Meaning even if they were breached, the key itself wouldn't be exposed.
Correct. And second, control is entirely with the user. You must manually regenerate the token. The best practice is every 30 to 90 days or immediately if you think it's been compromised.
And what happens when you hit that regenerate button?
It instantly and irrevocably revokes the old token. Any old links or embeds using that previous key immediately stop working.
So you have an immediate kill switch.
An immediate kill switch. It gives the user absolute control.
That makes the security model much more defensible. The permanence is a feature, but the hashing and manual revocation mitigate the main risk.
It's a well-balanced system designed for a real-world scenario.
Now, let's pivot hard to application. We've covered the how. Let's cover the why. Okay, let's unpack this. Here's where it gets really interesting. Because the source material makes a very strong case that this isn't niche tech. It serves pretty much every single industry that has accumulated knowledge.
The breadth is universal, and the ROI is staggering. Let's start with, say, individual experts. Think about a university professor.
Okay.
They upload all their course materials, their research papers, their specific data sets.
And the benefit there is?
They can immediately cut repetitive office hours questions by over 60%. Students get instant, accurate answers, 247. This frees the professor up for deeper work, not just rehashing the syllabus.
Right. Or what about an author of a complex nonfiction book?
Perfect example. They can create an interactive reading experience, letting readers query obscure terms or cross-reference ideas in real time. It makes complex knowledge instantly queryable.
It democratizes access.
Now think about field support and small businesses, the ones you don't typically associate with AI, like plumbers, electricians at JGAC Techs.
Okay, how does that work for them?
They upload their exhaustive technical guides and troubleshooting manuals.
And how does that translate into actual cost savings?
It allows for client self-service. The customer can ask the AI, my furnace isn't turning on, what should I check? And the AI gives them the top 3 things from the manual.
So it reduces the low-value service calls.
By up to 40%. The technician only gets called when the pipe is actually burst, not when the pilot light is just out.
That's a huge operational saving. And what about high-stakes environment?
Oh, the source highlights a phenomenal use case, paramedics and first responders. In a high-stress situation, searching a dense manual for a pediatric drug dose is slow and error-prone.
But a conversational AI on a tablet could give you that instantly.
Exactly. Verified information instantly. That speed can absolutely affect patient outcomes.
Moving to e-commerce, I saw a mention of a sommelier personality. How does that work?
It's done through the document training. A wine retailer uploads their inventory, tasting notes, pairing guides. Then they configure the widget to adopt that sommelier persona.
So it can offer recommendations?
Instant recommendations based on what the customer's eating. It can really increase the average order value because the customer feels guided.
And in fashion, where returns are a massive problem.
A huge pain point. Retailers upload detailed sizing charts, fabric care info. The AI gives instant, accurate sizing guidance. The data shows this can reduce returns due to sizing issues by 30% or more.
Which goes straight to the bottom line.
Directly.
And finally, internal knowledge. This seems like a no-brainer.
This is maybe the easiest ROI to calculate. For HR, IT, legal, Lumina is a 247 internal assistant. A new hire gets instant answers about PTO policy or the dress code.
Instead of bugging an HR rep.
Right. And for legal practices, lawyers can securely query case law and firm precedents, all behind a VPN. It just eliminates that massive duplication of research time.
So the universal benefits are pretty clear. Instant responses, consistency, 24/7 availability, scalability. The sources claim this can reduce support staff needs by 40 to 80%.
It turns a company's accumulated wisdom into an active, useful asset.
Okay, we need to turn our attention to the billing structure because our sources highlight a unique and potentially confusing piece of logic in the terms of service.
Yes.
Before we get into the tricky part, what's the basic framework?
It's a standard, tiered, monthly subscription model. It runs from a free Tier 3 documents, 30 messages, all the way up to a dead serious tier at €99 for unlimited documents and 9,000 messages, plus enterprise.
So what does this all mean when we talk about the quotas? Because there are two distinct limits here, documents and messages, and they're treated very differently.
This is the part that needs careful attention. Let's break it down. First is document storage. This limit, 10, 40, whatever, is a permanent cap. Your documents stay there until you manually delete them. That limit does not reset monthly.
Permanent storage limit. Got it. Now, the message quota, the actual usage, that's where the confusion can come in.
Correct. The message quota is monthly, but the critical detail is the reset timing. The counter resets on the first of each month at 0000 CET, Central European Time.
Wait, regardless of your billing date?
Regardless of the user's specific subscription anniversary or billing date.
So if I sign up on the 15th, I only get 2 weeks of messages before my counter resets, but my billing cycle doesn't start over until the 15th of the next month.
That's the precise challenge. The billing date tracks your payment, but the usage quota is synchronized globally to the calendar month.
That seems odd. Why do it that way?
It's likely for back-end simplicity and multi-tenant management, but it means you need to plan your initial usage carefully, especially if you subscribe mid-month.
And why CET specifically? Is that just where the company is based?
That's the most likely explanation. But for a listener in, say, Pacific time, you need to know when midnight CET hits for you. And by the way, unused messages do not roll over.
That is a critical detail for budgeting. I did see a mention of bonus messages. How do those work?
Bonus messages are single-use credits. Crucially, they persist across months. They're like an emergency buffer. They only get consumed after your standard monthly quota is completely exhausted.
Okay, good to know. Let's wrap this deep dive by looking at enterprise-grade security. This is non-negotiable if you're uploading proprietary knowledge.
Absolutely. And Lumina seems to have prioritized it heavily. They use a multi-layer defense, a zero-trust architecture. They're explicitly designed to be GDPR and CCPA compliant.
And SOC2 ready, I saw.
Yes, SOC2 ready.
When we talk about data protection, how is the actual knowledge, the documents, the chats protected inside their cloud environment?
Two critical points. First, all traffic is encrypted with TLS 1.3, which is standard. More importantly, all sensitive data is encrypted at rest using AES 256 GCM.
And why is that at rest part so important?
Because encryption at rest protects your data, even if the physical hard drive or a database backup were compromised. The data is just unusable without the encryption key. It's the final line of defense.
And what about preventative controls? Against misuse or, someone trying to overload the system?
They use strict rate limiting. For example, They limit RG requests to 30 per minute to prevent abuse of the Gemini API, and widget requests are limited to 60 per minute to keep performance consistent.
And for accountability, what about logging?
Comprehensive audit logging. They track 18 different event types, user actions, admin changes, and critical security events like that token regeneration we talked about. The record is there.
Finally, circling back to GDPR and CCPA, what does the right to deletion mean for a company that ends its service?
It means that when you remove your account, Lumina is legally obligated to purge all of your records. Everything, the auth account, all the Firestore metadata, every single file in cloud storage. The documentation confirms this data is permanently and completely deleted within 30 days. Your knowledge doesn't linger on their servers.
This entire deep dive really reveals a solution that is both powerful and practical. Lumina is democratizing RE technology, making it accessible to everyone from a plumber to a massive legal firm. It's solving that problem of static knowledge gathering digital dust.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the platform's success relies on avoiding those LLM hallucinations by being strict, by sticking to the documents.
Right.
This raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about. If we rely entirely on those uploaded documents for the truth, how do organizations ensure the continuous real-time accuracy of that underlying source material? The challenge shifts. It's no longer about teaching the AI how to talk. It's about ensuring the human knowledge that you input, the foundation of the whole system, is perpetually correct and up to date. That knowledge governance. That's the next frontier for systems like this.
A powerful thought to end on. The technology is only as good as the input. Thank you for guiding us through all this material today.
My pleasure.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.